My name is Dennis Smelgo. I'm the head of the Logistics Audit and Design Department for LogistiX. And today I will tell you about unmanaged warehouse operations, how seconds can cost millions. During the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, me and my colleagues have visited over 48 warehouses in India and identified the top 5 most common challenges that warehouse logistics faces in India. First, inefficient utilization of human resources. Basically, this is when you have a person inefficiently conducting this or that operation. For example, he takes one carton and goes with one carton to the shipping area, then goes back to the storage, takes another carton, and so on, instead of taking a group of cartons and doing it by one operation. Second is the lack of operational performance standards. This is not an India-only problem. This is actually a global problem. 20 years ago in Russia, we were still using standards that were designed and developed during the 1930s when Stalin was in charge. And only recently we have updated these standards and moved on to more efficient ones. Third one is an ability to assess individual work performance. Without operational WMS systems in your warehouse, you cannot look individually into the performance of each person that works in your warehouse. The fourth problem is reactive decision making. Basically, you start solving the problem when it has already occurred, instead of prematurely solving the problem based on statistical information or certain signals that you can receive from your information system. And the fifth is the slow task execution caused by improperly selected equipment. For example, you have forklifts and different equipment. Yes. Oh, thank you. And different equipment inside your warehouse. And for example, you need to take a pallet from, say, an 8-meter or a 10-meter height, and the forklift is assigned this task instead of a reach truck or a different type of equipment that can actually reach this height. Or you need to pick a pallet, and a physical person is assigned this task who cannot physically take this pallet without some material handling equipment or robotized equipment, and so on. Okay. So what are unmanaged operations? Unmanaged operations are operations that are performed by personnel who individually select how to do each task. For example, you need to put away a couple of SKUs. You ask your personnel to put them away. And people without management systems, they will look at the storage area and on average put away each SKU more or less the same. That way they will not analyze the statistical information and look at the frequency for each SKU, and all SKUs will be more or less put away at the same distance. But if we manage our operations, first of all, we can do quite simple ABC, X, Y, Z analysis, analyze our frequency of picking, analyze the number of operations that we need to do with each SKU, and then we put away SKUs with higher frequency closer to our shipping areas, and SKUs that are rare or have low picking frequencies, we put away someplace not close to our shipping area where they won't matter much. That way we can minimize the overall distance our pickers move throughout the warehouse, and minimize our operating costs up to 67% only by doing this simple optimization and analysis operation. Furthermore, we can achieve further results by carrier optimization, where we don't pick a carton when we start picking full monopallets. That way we don't have to do multiple operations with carton and only do one simple operation with a pallet. The average cost of this operation will be higher, about 2.5 times higher than a carton picking operation, but the number of operations will be 100 times lower. That way, your total operating costs will go down even further. And if we take our baseline, we understand that we can optimize operations up to 92% just by doing typical ABC analysis and carrier optimization while picking. A second example of managed operations. This is a real case conducted at one of our clients. It's called, the client's name is Fixed Price. They had average picking operations that that took around 60 seconds per carton. After implementing our WMS solution and optimizing their business processes, they were able to lower their picking time up to two times. So one picking operation now takes up only 30 seconds. 30 seconds, you can say it's not much. 30 seconds, it's half a minute, it's nothing. But if you take 30 seconds, 100 employees, 100 pickings per employee per day, you get about 1,000 and more than 1,500 man hours per day. So only 30 seconds on one picking operation allows you to save up to 833 man hours per day. That's 24 million rupees per year, just for one operation when we save 30 seconds. Okay, now let's take a more in-depth approach. So how can we solve these problems? We can solve them by doing three simple things. First of all, we need to standardize and design our business processes. Second, we need to select the equipment and the warehouse facility layout, which will be optimized for our material flow. And third, all our business processes must be automated. Now, I would like to take a more in-depth look at the problems that we have identified earlier. Now, each problem can be solved by utilizing consulting and WMS in a synergetic way. At the consulting level, we can identify the inefficient operations that can be eliminated, re-engineered, and automated. Also correct the distribution of roles inside the warehouse. And the WMS will help us by automatically tasking allocations based on workload and location, resource management based on priorities and employee availability, and by identifying bottlenecks through performance monitoring. The second problem is the lack of operational performance standards. At the consulting level, we can do operation timing and benchmarking, see how much each operation costs in times, in seconds, in hours, benchmark these operations, that we can standardize them and make them typical for each warehouse that we have. And this problem, VMS can help us by monitoring the performance and alerting us if there are certain delays in this performance. For example, if we see that a worker has been idle for, say, more than 10 or 15 minutes, the WMS system can alert the administration and tell them that there's a possible problem and that he needs to go and check on this problem. And the second part is determining the need for norm adjustments. When the WMS monitors each and every operation, you have an average, which you can analyze daily. You can analyze it by person, or you can analyze it by task, analyze it by specific material group, and so on. So if you see that your material flow changes, you can also correct the norms that are applied to your warehouse at this point in time. Problem number 3. Inability to assess individual work performance. This is a very big problem, actually. At the consulting level, we can help by developing metrics to assess the performance of each and every employee or equipment that is in your warehouse, and by implementing a system of regular evaluation and the discussion of achievements. Here the WMS will help us by personalized execution of operations, because every employee has to log in to conduct his tasks. That way we can evaluate him. The WMS allows us to fixate the timestamps for the start and end of every operation that is conducted by an employee for later analysis. Also, this helps us to implement a reward and achievement system for all of our employees inside the warehouse. So they will be properly motivated and work most effectively. Problem number 4. Reactive decision making. Here, first of all, we need to design in detail our new business processes so that we can define the metrics that will be required, and to identify the issues and processes, including processes consisting of supply planning, forming requirements, and the interaction with the sales department. Here the WMS system can help us by collecting historical data on all of our inside warehouse operations, building demand forecasts, warehouse load and resource planning, and creating plans, not plans, but creating data for further analysis that will help us plan the required warehouse area, equipment, and personnel for our future material flow that will be coming in to our warehouse. Problem number 5, slow task execution caused by improperly selected equipment. Here, consulting helps define which equipment should be used depending on your material flowing. Helps with layout design, so you have proper equipment, proper zoning inside your warehouse, and allows us to benchmark your business processes as is and to be, to calculate ROI and TTV for selecting the best choice of the layout and the business processes designed. Also, at the WMS level, we can automatically determine the required equipment and the quantity of this equipment to go around bottlenecks. For example, if we have an order that needs to be picked to a certain time, the WMS system can manage the order give this task to 2 pickers, 3 pickers, and so on. So the order will be completed by the deadline that is required. And also by effectively picking equipment. Also, there won't be any extra tasks that will be undone because the equipment can't physically complete these tasks. Okay. Now, these are our uh, forgot the word. Sorry. Basically, these are the tasks that our department usually does. This is what is our main expertise and what we can do to help you with your warehouses. First of all is landlord expertise. Here we can help with analyzing your landlord to see how it can be most effectively developed from a logistics standpoint of view. After we analyze your material flow, we can calculate the area and technology that will be required and see how it can be designed that way that we will develop your landlord with minimal waste space. Second, if you already have an active warehouse, we can do a full logistics audit. Here we analyze your material flow, your layout, your personnel, your equipment, your business processes, and your operating costs. By analyzing all of this information, we find bottlenecks, problematic areas, resource problems, and so on. Later, if we find problems, then we can move on to the warehouse design phase. Here it can be a lot of options. It can be a greenfield design, it can be a brownfield design or modernization of your current warehouse. It can incorporate technology which will allow you partial or full automatization of your business processes. Also, technology can be based on only mechanization or robotization or in part both. Then we have the design of the company's supply chain infrastructure and inventory management, which allows us to lower our average stock levels and define which materials should be stored at which warehouse, optimizing our lead time and other factors. And finally, our warehouse simulation modeling, which is done on our own product, LeadSim, which helps us design new warehouses, find bottlenecks, problems with business processes, and help help redesign these problems at the early design stage before going physical inside your warehouse. Okay, so how to choose the right warehouse technologies. This is a real case. This project was completed not that long ago, last year, for a major retail company. This is a project of a big distribution center. So first of all, we conducted a full audit and material flow analysis of the company's warehouse. We analyzed all areas and defined the areas that will need modernization. After these areas were defined, for every area, different technological concepts were calculated. Here we can see that for our unloading and receiving areas, we had 7 options. For storage area, 8 options. For picking and control, 2 options. And for shipping area, 3 options, 3 design options. Together, all these options lead to more than 100 different variants of possible layouts for this DC. Now let's look a little closer in detail for each option. Here, the loading and receiving area. Option number 1, standardized mechanization. which was basically the as-is model for this client. Then also were proposed the Atlas fully automated unloading system and a robotic system based on AGV robots. Also, since our client had a specialized material flow for the fresh group for products that only come in bulk, he required a system that could work with cartons, specifically talking about bananas here. If you worked with banana packaging, you know that you can't take the carton from the top because it's constructed this special way. It will just fall apart. So you can only take it out by the sides. So this leaves basically two options. Either you can work with manual unloading, or there's also a robotic solution, which basically is a telescopic conveyor system with a special handling unit on from the side of the truck. And in the end, there's a cobot robotic arm that helps store these, put away these cartons on the pallet. That way, you can unload cartons, and the process is fully automated. No personnel at this process at all. And also, to further optimize his receiving processes, we designed a technology that worked with AGV robots and also with automatic identification frames. Thus, fully, we were able to work in this area to fully robotize this area. No personnel in the unloading and receiving area for these two variants, which optimized his overall personnel by over 50 people during one shift. Okay. Then the storage area. For the storage area, 8 different variants options were created. First of all, middle aisle technology using reach trucks. This is an as-is for our client. Also proposed was the narrow aisle technology for single and double deep racks. ISRS technology, also single and double deep, and the 3D shuttle technology. Also for working with products, 2D shuttles were proposed for to work with drive-in racks and FMR robots, only for the banana group. In the end, actually, the most economically viable variant was narrow aisle single deep. Okay. Now, the order picking and quality control area. Basically, there are only 2 technologies, goods to person and person to goods. Person to goods, person takes a pallet, goes inside your racking storage system, and conducts picking operations from the ground level. After completing all the picks in his picking order, he moves the pallet to the shipping area, takes the next pallet, and so on until all tasks are completed. In the goods-to-person technology, a person has a picking station. He doesn't go anywhere, and all the pallets are brought to him by LMR robots who pick these pallets from also the first floor of the racking system and move them to the picking stations. For this particular project, each robot needed to move 1 pallet to 3 picking stations in each cycle, and then had an 80% return rate inside the storage area. So one wave was very, very large, over 2,000 pallets. So if you take this information and study it in detail, you will see that you only have, say, 4,000 or 5,000 pallets per day. If you divide them on average, you get only about 200, 300 pallets per hour. But you need each picking cycle, which was 1 hour, you had over 3,000 SKUs. So you had to take out 2,000 pallets every hour. And then 80% of them returned, and only 20% were fully picked and had to be replaced. And the fourth area, the shipping area, is similar to the unloading and receiving area. Also had mechanized loading, Atlas fully automated system, and AGV robotic solution. All these solutions were calculated. For every solution, area was calculated, quantity of personnel, equipment, investment costs, and operating costs were calculated, which helped us also to calculate the payback period and NPV. Also very important for any robotized warehouse is the calculation of the power demand. Because for our client, the power demand for a fully robotized warehouse was almost 5 megawatts. 5 megawatts, for example, it's around 500 households. It's a big village or in a small city. So basically, this distribution center in a fully robotized option required its own power plant, specialized to work only with this distribution center. And this is an example of how every variant was analyzed and shown to our client with certain preferences that we have talked about with our client during the starting phase. And this is a typical warehouse design project that we do and implement for our clients. Thank you for your time.